I told you I'd find you some good news. I come through on my promises. So the Connecticut chapter of the Piano Technician Guild, which is a nationwide organization of piano technicians, is offering a community outreach to nonprofits in order to rehabilitate pianos in need. And actually, one of those organizations based right here in Milford will be the first to benefit from this collaboration. Joining us with all the details, welcome back to the show, Gina Bonfietti, who is a piano technician extraordinaire. And the last time she came on, told us all about the details of that piano you found at the green, right on the green in Milford. And it was a real hit that summer. Good morning, Gina. Thank you for coming back on the show. How are you?
Good morning, Melissa. Thanks so much for having me, and thank you for that fabulous introduction. I love that.
It's no problem. I mean, I have to be honest, you provided me with a lot of that detail, so it's not a problem at all. First of all, tell us about the Milford-based organization that is going to be one of the first in the nation benefiting from this.
Pantochino's is a theater group. They specialize, and I got to know them through their summer camps for kids. My daughter did a lot of summer camps with them and then went through their teen theater program. And they also have adult, I don't want to say adult shows, but, adult actors. And they're based in Milford. They have a warehouse and a practice area in the Milford Mall, which we'll be there. And then they do their shows out of the Milford Fine Arts, the train station in the center of Milford. So they're very active. They put on productions at the local schools. They do after-school programs, and they do a lot. It's Bert Bernardi and Jimmy. I should know his last name. But they're a great group. And I've been tuning for them, and they had a very small piano. And I said to them, hey, would you guys ever want a grand? And they said yes. And I had a client who was downsizing. So it seemed like the perfect fit, and I had that piano donated to them. So that's how they acquired the piano that we're going to be working on.
So this is really neat. Tell us a little bit more about how this community outreach to nonprofits is going to work. Like, what do people need to understand about this?
Well, this is our first year, so we're kind of figuring it out as we go. But the intent is to find a nonprofit that does community service work, is active in the community, that has a piano that they love and adore, but maybe needs some work, and they just can't afford to have a piano and refurbish it. So what we thought of as the Piano Technicians Guild, we're also a nonprofit. We're highly trained, registered piano technicians that our expertise and our love is pianos. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if we got these two groups together? Mm-hmm. We have the expertise and the love, and they have a piano that we can use as an outreach, as an educational service for our members who may not be well-versed in certain types of repairs, an open house for members or people in the community who are thinking, well, maybe I'd like to be a piano technician, but I have no idea what it entails. And then also for people who are just like, hey, I just like to see what's inside a piano. So kind of help me, Melissa.
It encompasses the two together.
Thank you. Yes.
I know the word you're trying, and I know I'm going to botch it as well. So that's why I'm going to pick something else. Gina, I think you're excellent. Gina Bonfietti is here, who's a piano technician, and as I mentioned in the beginning of this, Gina, the last time she came on, told us about this really incredible opportunity, and it was a hit in Milford. I have to be honest, as a Milford resident, there was not one day while that public piano was out there that I didn't see someone sitting there. I didn't see people dancing to the music that was playing. It was one of the coolest community, and it was such a simple thing to do, putting a piano that was refurbished and redone out there and just bringing strangers together. It was one of the neatest things, and I think there's not a lot we can make sense of in this world, but we can make sense of music, and I love that.
Well, I will tell you, I was amazed at how that piano took off. It was just like the perfect hallmark moment. And it got so much love from the community. It got love. I got a call from England saying, what? I'd like to do a story. Yeah, from England. This gentleman wanted to do a story on street pianos. It was just amazing, the outreach and how it had so many fingers and how it crawled, meaning afterwards, last summer, I did a class on it at a piano technicians conference, the annual national conference. And this summer, there's a lot more street pianos out throughout the United States by people who took the class, and I get emails back saying, "Hey, how did you do this?" And I send them a picture of which I took from the street piano down on the green, and I tell them, "This is what I did, and this is how it worked." I've gotten a medical analysis of painted pianos in assisted living and how important it is from putting out that class because someone mentioned it to their local nursing home, and then the nursing home did a study on it and how they found that.
Gosh, that's amazing.
It's so cool on how the piano touched so many people.
It does. I'm telling you, music is healing. I know it is for myself. Music is healing. You know, I get asked that all the time. How do you get into your shows without scripts? And how do you go into how do you do your shows every day? And this is my answer every single day. I sit here and I listen to music. I listen to music to center myself. And everybody has different tastes, but it's like to center myself, to focus myself, to align what I'm about to talk about for the next 5 hours. Music is one of my biggest healers. I'm a huge believer in it. And it sounds like you are as well, Gina. And I just want to get back to, it sounds like next week, June 15th, I'm hearing that date. Why is that significant?
Yes. Well, that's the date we're doing it. Our Piano Technicians Guild meetings are the third Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
So that's why we always pick that date. We're going to head to the mall, to Pantochino's warehouse area. I'm guessing we're going to probably have about 25 piano technicians there. And we're going to look at the piano, do what we do when we go into a new house, look it over and say, this is what this piano needs. I've already talked to Pantochino's and said, what is your issues with this piano? Going to go in their direction as to what is bothering them the most and then do what we know needs to be done. So I'm envisioning about 4 or 5 stations. One gentleman is going to work on making the case look better because he's a master refinisher. One gentleman loves to clean, so he's going to work on the strings and the pin block, and they'll all have helpers. Then we're going to take the insides out of the piano. We're going to separate the keys from what's called the stack, which is the top of the piano, and tighten everything up, glue everything, lubricate everything, do what needs to be done. I'm going to take the pedals off and rework those. And there's a possibility we're going to lift the piano up and put a spider or a dolly system on so that they can move the piano throughout the warehouse without being on tiny, tiny little wheels.
Oh, how cool. Cool.
So we're going to do this in 5 hours or less. And then our technical, we have a technical every month where we learn new tricks and tips. And typically we've had people from Washington State, Georgia, from all over the country that come in and teach us their techniques and how they do it. So, but this time we're going to teach our own class and say, okay, people, this is what we did. This is what worked. This is how long it took. This is what, if we had a better budget or if the client wanted to put new parts on, we could have done this.
That's really
so
neat.
It's going to be a great learning experience for our technicians, but it's also going to be great for Pantochinos because this work would have cost them thousands.
I'm sure.
And we're just going to help them out.
I think that's amazing. Now, Gina, obviously you guys are pretty set for this upcoming event, but in future, if you have technicians who are interested or you have people who are interested in learning a little bit about the work that you do, is there a way they could reach out?
Sure. They can reach out to me, but I'm going to give you some websites that will get them information quicker.
Go for it.
If you want to become a piano technician or if you want to find a piano technician, maybe you're not in Connecticut, you can go to www.ptg.org. That's the Piano Technician Guild's main website. That's for all over the country. You can find a piano technician anywhere. You can learn how to become a piano technician. There's a spot for teachers. So we have so many independent teachers out there that may not have a community that can go there and find some information. There's coloring pages. There's a lot of information on that home page.
Right.
Then if you're looking in Connecticut, our website is ctptg.org. So just CT in front of that. Mm-hmm. And there you'll find the Connecticut members of the Piano Technicians Guild, a little information about what we do. And if some nonprofit is interested in having their piano be considered for next year's project, they can reach out to one of the piano technicians on that list or to myself and say, I'm interested in having our piano looked at. And then, of course, we will have some questions for them.
And you'll go from there, basically. Gina, Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I thank you so much for what you're doing in the community, and I look forward to seeing what projects lie ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Melissa. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too, Gina. Appreciate you coming on.